got a big mouth. Came out there. I talk from my heart. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes, comes. But my controversy probably. And it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world. You know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. Your karma, everything that you do bad comes back to you. So anything that I'm doing that's bad, I'm going to have to suffer for it. But in my heart, I think what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? And I think heaven is just, when you sleep with a good conscience. You don't have nightmares. And hell is...
What's going on, everyone? I'm so happy you decided to join me on this journey called Podcast Life. We will be discussing topics like celebrity gossip, life lesson, politics, and etc. This is a judge-free zone. Think of me as that homegirl that is so down to earth that you feel like you've been knowing for years. Remember, over here at the Boomerang Effect, the motto is never judge a book by its cover before opening it up and reading it. And remember, it's okay to agree to disagree. Just stand on what you're saying. Got it? Period. Please like, comment, share, give feedback, anything to help this podcast grow, because it is a voice for the people. So, love, peace, and unity. Mwah! What's going on, everyone? It is your girl, Queen Clee, and this is Hot Topics. Let's jump right on into it. The director of the original Space Jam Slam's new legacy, calling it uninteresting, LeBron Ain't Michael, couldn't finish it in one sitting. It looks like the director of the original Space Jam isn't feeling the sequel, according to TMZ. Joe, the director of Michael Jordan original Space Jam, says the reboot is uninteresting. In fact, he claimed it was so boring that he couldn't finish it in one sitting. It took him 5 sessions to get through it. Joe said LeBron is an incredible athlete and a very good actor, but adds that the truth is that LeBron ain't Michael. On top of that, Joe says his film tied the plot to MJ's personal life, retiring from hoops to play baseball, while the new movie missing a personal connection to LeBron. Okay, so how do you guys feel about the new Space Jam starring LeBron? Me personally, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I don't even know how the original one kind of ended. I always thought, even when I was younger, I always kind of thought that I was a little grown for us when it came down to TV watching. I love watching soap operas, different sitcoms and stuff like that. So when it came down to like cartoon characters and stuff like that, I really wasn't digging it. But I do remember watching Space Jam, but I honestly forgot the whole concept of the Space Jam. I just knew it was so big because Michael Jackson, I'm so sorry. Michael Jordan was starring in it, and it just made it go big. So they, of course, wanted to do like an update version with LeBron, and a lot of people compare them. I'm not all into basketball, so I don't know if LeBron is trying to be like Michael, but I know that is somebody that it becomes a big debate when they're talk about, legacy and stuff like that. Like, oh, he want to be Michael or he's not Michael. And I just hate that because I'm pretty sure that LeBron at the time felt like it was an honor to even basically recreate a new version of Space Jam. And people did not, some people want to give it a try because they love LeBron, and some people did not want to even give it a try because they hated LeBron, or they feel like that they did not want to see it duplicated. And I'm not gonna lie, I did watch the movie, so it was funny to see some comments and stuff like that, because some people were saying like, listen, why is people complaining? The kids ain't complaining, it's the adults, it's the 30 plus that remember this movie when they was a little kid in the movie theater eating popcorn. You guys have to understand, it's not going to be the same reaction, the same storyline, just because everything changed. That's just like Coming to America, you know what I'm saying, with Eddie Murphy and stuff like that. And he tried to update a new version, and some people was like, oh my God, it was this, it was that, it wasn't all that good, blah, blah, woo, la, la. But you got to understand, why would they do a new movie in the 2000s or the millennium or whatever, and then they turn around and they are consistently using some stuff that was back in the 90s. That's not going to happen. Technology and everything has changed. So of course the new version had to be up to date. It had to be different. Of course it had the same name, but they had to at least, switch it up and spice it up. I just wish that people would have probably gave it an open mind that was willing to watch it. Because I do feel like some people watch things just so they can criticize and go in about it. And then you have some people that just actually just enjoy the fact that they can sit down with their kids and remember and watch some things that they seen when they was little. So only thing I hate is the fact of it's like no originality, if that's how you say it. It's like it's crazy to see all these people trying to reboot all these shows, these old shows, these sitcoms, reboot these movies. I feel like in my generation and then for my kids' generation, they are not going to have any type of things to look back on when it comes down to music, when it comes down to TV shows, when it comes down to music. Because think about all the stuff that's on TV. The TV is so consumed with all this fake reality TV. Reality TV shows not even reality. Then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, you have like the sitcoms. They don't have sitcoms like Martin, Family Matters. They don't have different variety of stuff. Like even back in the day, I remember we can turn it on soap operas. We had talk shows. We had reality TV. We had movies that came out. And I feel like in this generation, it's kind of like they are just literally dipping back into what was right. And then this thing, they're like, okay, let's pull this movie and redo it. And it's not the same. So I'm just hoping that in the future people just start making their own ideas so they can go ahead and get the legacy, their own personal legacy together. Because it's kind of like I don't want my kids to be thinking like, well, shoot, we don't have nothing to kind of tell our grandkids and our family about when we get older, because y'all don't have nothing, because y'all consistently reaching back in the 60s and the 80s and the 90s talking about making this over again. Why? Just because it was a hit back then don't mean that we want to see up-to-date version of your behind. So yeah, so let me know what you thought about the Space Jam movie. Did you think it was good, or did you think that it could have been left alone? Michael did, and Mike did good while he did it. Okay, next subject. And I say, hey, Arthur has been canceled after 25 seasons. It's time to say farewell to the iconic Mimi. Since the latest running children animated series in American history, Arthur is coming to an end with its 25th season. During an interview with IGN, screenwriter Kathy revealed that the PBS show will be ending 2022. Arthur is no longer in production. We had our wrap party 2 years ago, she said. I think PBS made a mistake, and I think Arthur should come back. And I know I'm not alone in thinking they made a mistake. I don't know if it was a rating issue or as it felt like it needed to be retired to me. It felt evergreen, like it was never going to end, but it did end. We finished the last episode, season 25, 2 years ago. Okay, so once again, like I was saying, this is also a very special show. And I love Arthur. I honestly did not know that this was their 25th season. I don't know if a lot of you guys remember Arthur, the Big Red Clipper. This is what I'm saying, childhood stuff. Even Tubby Tubbies. I hated Tubby Tubbies, but whatever. I felt like it was a spirit in them Tubby Tubbies. But yeah, so it's sad to see Arthur is going. I'm pretty sure Arthur at 25 seasons, I mean, trust and believe they have a lot of reruns and a lot of shows. I probably stopped watching Arthur when I was 13 or 14, but I love Arthur. So it's good to know that they had a good long run. Now, word on the street, you know what I'm saying, rumors with no regards, is the fact of the reason why they was canceling Arthur is in fact, well, the reason why they was canceling Arthur was for the simple fact is that it did not want to up to date their basically their motto or something. Like they didn't want to do certain stuff or kind of expose certain stuff on that particular TV show. And it could have been like, gay relationships. It could have been like pregnancy. Like the characters was not growing. Like Arthur being in the third grade since I was in pre-K. So it's kind of like they wasn't growing up, they wasn't, being in high school. They really wanted to take Arthur into a whole nother realm as an adult and a teenager age. But you have to remember when you're doing these cartoon shows, not trying to be funny, even as an adult, you got to understand the kids that watch these when they was 4 or 5, they're not going to be interested in you guys when they are hit a teenager status. And let's just keep it real. A lot of technology plays a big part in it. So, shout out to Arthur. That makes me actually want to go back into and look at a couple of reruns with my kids and see if they enjoy it. So, father says his twin baby girls from house fire suffered severe burns. Let's get into the story. Let's see if this has a clip.
House was engulfed in smoke. I seen at the house, I seen my mom and my niece were standing at the door, and they were frantic.
They were frantic not just because the house was on fire, but Ray Lucas says he knew his twin 18-month-old girls, Milan and Malaysia, were still inside, asleep in the basement, every second a matter of life and death.
Like, I just knew I had to get my babies out. Like, that's what was in my mind.
Ray tells us he rushed into their East Point home where he, his girlfriend Cheyenne, his niece, and mom were all staying before it was burned so badly they can no longer live here.
You really couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was like I kind of really only found my babies just due to like my memory, just knowing where they were and knowing how to get to them just from having that same route.
Both sweet little girls thankfully made it out, but spent time in the ICU. Malaysia left with severe burns. She's out of the hospital and can be with her mom, Cheyenne, father, Ray, and twin sister.
The house was engulfed.
Okay, so that is a very touching but also devastating news to know that the father had to basically go in there and save his twin daughters. These daughters are very young. I don't even think they was 1 year old yet. The house had caught fire, and I think at the time he's basically saying he was trying to get out the house. He thought everybody was out the house already, but when he noticed that his twin daughters was in the house asleep, then he ran back in there. And he is definitely, they do have a GoFundMe account for him. It is very heroic. That is a father. That is a father. That is a parent. So I commend that young black man for doing that. And that's the type of news, not to say that, I love to see it. I want to see that. But this is the type of stuff that I would rather see about a black man, because it is a lot of wonderful black fathers out there that does not get no recognition. And it's kind of like we're always being portrayed as being angry, domestic violence, and, some type of drama, some type of drug stuff. So I'm glad that they kind of showed that at the end of the day, it's a lot of black fathers or fathers in general that will put their life on the line for their kids, and they not just saying it. Because like he said, this man, he was, a nice looking man. Now he has his face is, completely damaged because he has all these burns and stuff like that all across his face. One of his twin daughters, she suffered burn. At the end of the day, they still have their life. So I definitely will be supporting that story. Just looking at that story, that kind of I was like, wow, that's, this is what I'm saying about let's be grateful and mindful, and just know that it's still, you don't know what people are going through, because like he said, his life flashed before his eyes, just thinking that I don't even want to be here on earth if I know for a fact that that, hey, I'd rather risk it all. And that's just how it is. So I'm glad to see that him and his daughters survived the incident, and I'm also praying for them. Let's keep them in our prayers. And if you guys see him on a GoFundMe account, please support that man, because he definitely is not doing this for clout or attention. They reached out to him. So shout out to him. That was a wonderful thing. Okay. Black woman said an airline agent accused her of trafficking her 4-year-old sister. Let's get into the story. Colorado woman Lakia Janae. I'm not even trying to be funny. This girl's name is so long, and I thought my name was long. She got at least 3-4 names. So if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, I'm sorry. She has been accused of racially profiling I'm sorry. Miss Bailey has accused Airlines of racially profiling her after an employee falsely accused her of trafficking her white 4-year-old sister. As Devin Seven reported, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me start this story back over. I'm so sorry. Colorado woman, Miss Bailey, has accused the airlines of racially profiling her after an employee falsely accused her of trafficking her white 4-year-old sister. In Denver, Seven reported last week, Bailey is a 20-year-old woman, black woman, who was traveling with her 4-year-old adopted sister Olivia, who is white, from Denver to Dallas. As she told when they arrived at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, they were met with authorities who asked if they could speak with her for a moment. They want to talk to her, child. They trying to figure out why you at her with this little white girl. And we know, why it had to be Dallas. Okay. One of the officers directly asked Olivia if she knows me and what am I to her. And he asked what my mom was to her, said Bailey. According to the incident report from the DFW Department of Public Safety, the officer were there because our airline employee requested they meet the two at the gate after a passenger reportedly alleged that there could be a human trafficking going on. The whole time they were talking with us, people kept staring at us, whispering and stuff, said Bailey. Authorities later spoke with Bailey's mother and a social worker before they verified why the two had been traveling together. If the roles were changed and it was a white person walking off the plane with a black person, like a black child, I feel like things would be different, added Bailey. She and her family are now considering whether to file a lawsuit against the airlines for racially discrimination. Okay, so that's a good topic. So basically, the girl got on a plane with her white adopted sister, and one of the attendants had basically, somebody on the plane had reported to them that they feel like it was some human trafficking going on, like this black girl then took this white girl and she trying to traffic her and stuff like that. And they had basically met up with her to get some more questions, and she really wanted to know, what this would have been different if I was a white woman on the plane with a black child, which I would have did me the same way. It's very sickening. I mean, this is a gorgeous black woman, and the little girl is also, Olivia is also a gorgeous, little girl, and I hate that they had to do that. Do you guys feel like that was racially profiling? My opinion on the situation, yeah, I feel like to a certain extent it's definitely racially profiling, because just imagine how many times have we probably walked into a situation where it's probably been nothing but Caucasians, or let's just keep it real, even a whole place where Hispanics and Mexicans at or whatever, and as a black person we walk in there and we're outnumbered, or it's just only us and a friend or whatever, and it's only dots and spots of us. People get very leery, and for some reason they get so suspicious. Why are you so suspicious that you think? And I ain't trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to put this on different races, but one thing about black folks, we ain't doing no kidnapping. Now, they might sell a little drugs, my people might sell a little drugs, they might, you might even get them out there necking and bucking, but we definitely ain't taking no kids. And because first of all, we already got enough little cousins, we got kids, sometimes we got kids of our own, and so we definitely ain't taking no kids and putting them on no planes and trafficking them all over the place. We just don't, that just ain't our tea, that ain't our crime. But it's just sad to say, because for people to feel like, hey, it's something up. This black girl could not possibly, be related to this white girl or have any type of relationship. Or I didn't even see black women sit up here and have, have white kids with them or whatever. And then people automatically think that this black woman could be a maid or a nanny. It's racially profiling. Like, that definitely was something to be concerned of. What made you think that this little girl was in harm's way? I'm pretty sure the little girl was talking to the lady, talking to her sister, because that's her sister. She probably was talking to her sister, she felt comfortable. And I'm pretty sure if they would have asked the little girl, she probably would have never even walked away, or she probably was so attached to this lady to the point where if they wanted to pry her out their hands, they probably couldn't get that. She probably be fighting, kicking, and screaming, trying to get back to her sister. And I just hate it because that's something that they're going to have to explain to her, regardless of the fact. I know that we adopted you, this Black family, we adopted you, but you have to understand, it's sad to say that you have more privilege as a 4 or 5-year-old than they have as a 30-something-year-old. Come on now, let's talk about it. But definitely that was definitely like something. What do you guys think? Do you think she should file a lawsuit? Yes, I do think that they should look into it, because I'm not gonna say a lawsuit. And I understand that we think that that's the quickest way, because some people like file a lawsuit, but really, to be honest with you, especially if that's something that they have to report certain stuff. That's just like that's why I don't play them type of games when it comes down to CPS and all this type of stuff. Like, stop playing with people's livelihood. I mean, regardless of the fact if they believe it or not, I'm pretty sure that some of the people on the plane did not believe that or wasn't even thinking like that. But it's just the fact that somebody said something. So I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't have nothing to hide, you don't have nothing to hide. I just hated that the young lady had to experience that, and she had to go through that. But what do you guys think? Do you think that they was in the wrong? Do you think that at the end of the day, that's something to always look into? Or let me know what you think. Okay, so 12-year-old shows up to the hospital 9 months pregnant. Let's get into the story.
12-year-old showing up at a Tulsa hospital, 12 years old, ready to give birth, and the 24-year-old father of that baby arrested.
It's really hard to think about. The Tulsa Police Department is asking the public for some patience when it comes to them releasing more information.
12-year-old girl he said was his girlfriend. The 12-year-old girl was in labor, ready to give birth to Miranda Jara's baby.
Apparently they all think it was just kind of fine, like nothing was wrong. And it's a very strange situation.
Tulsa police officer Danny Bean says the two walked into Hillcrest just like any other expecting couple, hoping to deliver a newborn and walk out later with their new bundle of joy. When officers showed up, Bean says Miranda Jara proudly told the officers the 12-year-old girl was about to give birth to his baby.
But the two walked in thinking like nothing was wrong. He felt like he didn't have any worries.
The age of consent in Oklahoma is 16. Despite hoping to walk out with his new baby in tow with his underage girlfriend to begin new life as a family, Tulsa police arrested Miranda Jara. The number one question police and Fox 23 have been receiving since we broke this story is how could a man be allowed to be so intimate with such a young girl? And how could a young girl who was supposed to be in the 5th grade be allowed to carry a child to full term without police ever being called sometime in the last 9 months?
Wow. So 12-year-old girl gets to the hospital. She's 9 months pregnant, and she is pregnant by a 24-year-old. And they get there, and this is a Mexican couple. And once they get to the hospital, like you said, they just feel like everything was normal. Now, I'm not even trying to be funny. This is really like a touching story, just because it's like the simple fact is that I have daughters in general, and you gotta understand that man said the 5th grade or the 6th grade, this lady was pregnant. You're telling me throughout this whole 9 months, for her to carry a child for 9 months, whatever doctor, whatever type of medical attention, whatever she was going through, nobody did not report this? Where is her mother at? Where is her parents at? Why was she not in school? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is very bizarre. Like, the story is deeper, I'm pretty sure, than what we expect. But it's just the simple fact is that, like someone said in the comments, this young lady innocence, her childhood is forever changed. You see what I'm saying? And I don't care what you say, that people can really groom underage child, whether it's a little boy or a little girl. And then once you groom them at a younger age, it's easy for them to go with the flow. So like they said, and say she didn't understand what was wrong. I'm trying to figure out, was the baby dad, was he slow? Because he's 24 years old and you walked up in there like it is what it is. But I'm not even trying to be funny. I was talking to somebody who was Mexican. They was like, this might sound kind of weird, but in Mexico, like in the country, in their area, whatever where they're from, stuff like that is normal. Like a lot of young females her age or even younger get married to older men or having kids at a certain age and stuff like that, all underage, all teenager. So that's not that's normal over there in their area. So it's kind of like when they come over here down here with us, when we don't play that type of stuff, it's kind of like they're clueless because they like, wait a minute, like if I go back to my country, like it's not a big deal. Like, what is the problem? Because for him to be 24 years old and not see the problem in that, and then she be 12 and she's carrying a child for 9 months. Where is the mother at? Where is the father at? Like, y'all have to look deeper into the story, because it's like, I'm pretty sure that they wasn't even, they aware of it, but they had to condone it. And I don't care what you say, everybody should be locked up behind this situation. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm pretty sure that this girl is gonna have to deal with that. And then on top of that, even if y'all do feel like, oh, she's too young to have a baby, she could get a baby for adoption and stuff like that, that will always be on her heart that she had a baby by a man that she was in love with. They're gonna have to really get her some therapy and stuff like that, and let her know that wasn't right. It wasn't right for you to be violated. It wasn't right for this man to sit over here and have sex with you. They're going to have to deprogram her for whatever mindset that she was already on. It's just sickening. And they harassing the black lady on the plane, talking about because a little happy white girl on there with her and having a good time. But then you sit up here and you let this Mexican little girl that is 12 years old come into the hospital. Or not even that. Like, I'm pretty sure, she thought it was okay to go to the hospital. She just strolled her behind in there with her water broke. So where was she going before then? You know what I'm saying? Because for her to carry a child at that age for 9 months and she was due or her water broke, that says a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure she's seen somebody. She had to go through something. So, let's just keep the young lady in our prayers. The man needs to be behind bars, and I also think that they need to look into the parents and whoever was helping orchestrate this whole shenanigans. They definitely need to be in trouble too. So yeah, that wraps up that. Let's get into Saweetie. She is the rapper. 8 figures. That's my type. That's my type. That's my type. Hey, that's Saweetie. She's the rapper. She has she was dating another rapper with the Migos, Quavo. They broke up and stuff like that. But anyways, the news is Saweetie has a McDonald's meal. Like, it has a signature McDonald's meal, and it comes with fries can be more than a side. If a dip is also a topping, anything can be a sandwich. Seriously, anything. So she basically have a sandwich. It look like it's a Big Mac with fries on it. It look like, or if you don't want that, you got Big Mac chicken nuggets. And if you don't want that, she got a double meat patty with French fries in between it. Now, personally, and she got her own secret sauce. A lot of people were saying, like, far as her rap career, she doesn't have a good rap career. They just saying like she's not taking off as people probably would have thought. But one thing, this is a prime example, because I always try to end off on a good note or just some encouraging stuff. One thing we have to always remember, Saweetie is a rapper. That's something that she thrived to be and stuff like that and successful in. But she's not only letting that basically take control of her whole mindset and focus in on it one time. See how people are so quick to be like, well, she's not a good rapper. It don't matter. She working with McDonald's. She got clothing lines. She has done a lot, way more other stuff to bring in streams of income, or to even to sit up her and basically put her face out there and keep it out there. So for her to get a McDonald's deal, everybody ain't getting no McDonald's deal. Your favorite rapper ain't getting no McDonald's deal. Your favorite athletes ain't getting no McDonald's deal. Folks, for some people to sit up here and feel like, well, she ain't a good rapper. We ain't talking about rapping. We talking about this food line. And so I congratulate this sister, and that should just let people know that don't always, even if you do have a passion for something or a dream for something, you'll be surprised where you might take off at. That reminds me of Jamie Foxx, for example. He stood up here and said that he wanted to be a singer, but comedy took off faster. You see what I'm saying? Then after comedy really kind of took off faster, then movies started taking off faster. Then he started getting Oscars and different awards. Then his music, you know what I'm saying, like acting and all this type of stuff started taking off. So this man has succeeded in 3 different type of categories. You see what I'm saying? He has succeeded in 3 different type of categories when if he would have had a small like mindset and been like, well, I said I want to be a singer, that's what I'm gonna be, no matter what. And we'll do this. He didn't have that mindset. Okay, so everybody think I'm funny. Okay, cool. I'm going to interpret, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put that singing into my comedy skit, but I'm still going to do this comedy because this is what's taking out. Oh, okay. Not only the comedy, let me get into some of these TV shows. And look how powerful that man have taken out. So shout out to Sweetie. That should just let anybody know if you have any type of dreams, ambitions, stuff like that, stick to them. Don't listen to people. People gonna talk about you whether you doing good or bad. So just keep on shining. Do what's make you happy. It's called self-care, self-esteem. So that wraps it up for today. Please like, share, comment. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Mwah!